There's fish. Look at him go. Whoa. There's one. Big fish. What's going on, y'all? It's Corey with Current Angling, and this evening we're going to be out here for a few hours. It's still falling right now. We're going to be fishing a lot of low tide and then that incoming tide, but I want to show you guys some really cool areas to target at this tide, and that mainly is going to be oysters with some drop off, some creek mouths, and some other areas that I'm going to show you throughout the video. So stay with me and let's go hammer them. These fish are staging on an oyster just outside of a flat on the falling low tide. So they'll be hanging out here on the hard bottom with a little bit of a drop off structure nearby, but they're waiting for the water to go back up into a flat so they can filter in and hang out there some more. Here we go. That's a fish right there. Backing up. Big thumbs. I think it's a big fish. I'm trying to stay in between these docks here. Big one. Look at all the mud it's turning up. All right, buddy. A little overslop, it looks like. There it is. That's on that baby bucca bull shad, as you guys can see. It's just got a couple inline hooks, and it's pretty awesome. I'm gonna get this fish back in the water. I bet it's right at 23, but it's a good start to the day. Right hand. Okay, I think it still had lots of energy. But that was a really nice redfish and an awesome way to start out the trip. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe, leave me a comment, and hit that bell notification. What I'm using here is a St. Croix medium extra fast Avid Inshore rod, and this is a Shimano Vanford 3000 series. I've got 20-pound braid, and then this lure right here, it's a baby bucca bull shad that I went ahead and I put inline hooks on it. It's really good for inshore fishing, although it's made for bass fishing. I think it's a phenomenal lure, and while it doesn't have a rattle, it does kind of clink around, those body parts moving and hitting each other, bringing in some fish. I like to use it on a day like today where I don't really have any wind, but the water's not clear at all. So it has that drawing power without being too aggressive and too rattly. Slow retrieve, you can even wake it. Really fun lure, and that red just hammered it. All right, guys, this is an amazing spot right here. If you recall, a couple videos ago, I caught a really nice flounder and 3 flounder in a row from this spot. So that was a much higher tide. Here at low tide, you can see all the oysters and then that little valley in the middle, that little creek that winds up there. And right where the bottom of that creek is where I was catching those flounder, because they're laying in there. It's important to think about what it looks at low tide and know your area well enough. You know, there's nothing special about the areas I'm fishing. It's just the most convenient, closest to my house. But find some areas like this in your own fishery, and just pay attention to those low tide oyster mounds and low tide structure, and it's going to help you out a lot at a higher tide. Looking at the bank here, there's a little bit more of a slope. There's a fish. Oh no, I'm wrapped up. Shoot, it's around that piling. Look at all those redfish. I'm not giving it too much pressure because that fish went around that piling and then it's back this way. Look at them all these fish, guys. There's probably 30 fish just went crazy in here. I'm fighting the tide. I don't know if I'm even gonna be able to get around this piling. Yep, I did, and I still feel them. Just gonna break my rod tip here. Hopefully it didn't break my rod. It broke me. Look at all these fish though. Man, that was intense. All right, so I just cast to a dock and there were tons of fish. The current was strong. I got a little sideways and that fish went around one piling and then back at me. So I tried to get in there, but the fish just wrapped around the piling a few times and it broke my line. Now I'm still sitting here at the same dock. Fish blew up all around me, got scared. I don't know if there's still gonna be fish here, but there's like probably 30 of them blew up. Very frustrating how strong this current is and how messed up I just got. That they're all blowing up right there. You guys see that? And back up here, face into the current, so I have more maneuverability. All right, cast between these docks here. See if I can get some redemption with this heavier rod and circle hook. Sinking some shrimp. So I'm gonna try one more time, throwing this way up in here. Right there. All right, so I started throwing at this dock because it's kind of a huge lone dock. And it looks like there's a current rip right on it. There's a nice shoreline. It's kind of gravelly or sandy. And just isolated, like kind of place where some fish might start to gather because they have no other options. Feels like a lots of redfish. All right, I think that's eating size right there. No. So it turns out that that fish is only about 14 and a half, so it's gonna get let go. Asymmetrical. All right, so I just caught that fish, but you know, I've missed a couple other redfish. Right now, I'm not discouraged because I think I'm timing my evening to replicate another day where I have tons of success. And so there's a school of redfish that follows up the shore where I'm coming, and it stays right on the oyster mounds and then goes up in the grass. It's exactly the same tide right here. All right, I'm starting to get to where I was headed with these mounds, and the tide is, I think, gonna start coming in and start touching the mounds and going over them here soon. And these redfish are gonna be relating to them a lot before the water starts going up in the grass. So I've got a bunch of mounds kind of in front of me, slowly getting to them. I'm just casting around this one before I get there.
Saw some rolling.
There's one. Big fish.
Come on.
Yes. That's awesome. Boom. Let's let it go. Man, that was not as planned. I meant to release it a little bit better. These fish can come up here and sunbathe a little bit and be right off these oysters where there's food. All right, I'm gonna throw this circle hook shrimp right on up to the edge of this oyster here. See how long that takes. Probably not very long. Fish all around me, I believe. All right, so I've got a fish on. I'm trying to land my drone. I'm surrounded by redfish. I'm about to run out of power. Hopefully I don't mess this up because I'm on the water and I'm moving. It's stressful. Don't hit my rod. Gotta grab it over the water here. Got it. All right, I gotta reel this fish in, guys. I have it on the circle hook back here. And grab it here. Oh, it's actually a really big fish. Really good fish. All right, I've got to put this in the rod holder. Okay. And then this has just brought me out to open water, so I can fight it for a second here. Goodness. Y'all, this is a black drum. That's different. Black drum. Yes, sir. All right, that's a big redfish, big black drum. Don't want to get my drone wet. Let me turn it off. These need to be 14 to keep. And this one is probably 17. I'm gonna keep that for dinner, y'all. Heck yeah. I'm gonna put it in my ice and I'm gonna try to keep fishing, get my drone back up. Kind of fun. See if I can't record some more good footage here. This dolphin just came out of nowhere. Look at him go. Whoa. Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna see if this thing will launch again. That is so cool. Y'all, I have this in my hands. And he is just romping on these redfish that I was romping on. Very little battery here, but I feel like I need to get capture this, guys. Got 17% battery. Look at him in the shallows. Wow. redfish go so shallow is not just for food, but to avoid these predators. Ah, got it. It's always a relief when I can grab it. But I got just enough clip of that dolphin. So these fish were doing pretty much exactly what I thought. They're on the fringe of the oysters as the tide's coming up and just starting to touch them on some of the deeper oysters where they can fall back to some deeper areas and be more secure. But then as soon as it's like deep enough for them to move into the water, they're going up into the oysters and past the oysters, and with good reason. That dolphin was right there. There we go. Yep. Let's check it out. Both sides. All right, let's catch some more. So now that the grass is starting to be touched by the water, that's really where I'm going to want to start focusing my casts. I've refrained from doing it so far because it's been touching, but it's only been like an inch or two at the grass. Now I'm going to start casting right up to it and in it. I only found that one fish after the dolphin came, so I'm moving on. I've got on the paddle tail 3-inch mud minnow on a eye strike trout eye 1/8 ounce. This is what I've been throwing all day, and I'm just going to troll a little bit here now that the current changed the other direction. All right, that was a super fun evening. I hope you guys learned something, and next time you're out at low tide, you kind of have an idea of where to pitch to and what the behaviors and pattern of some of these redfish. Like what you're seeing, please subscribe and go check out my inshore videos right here, and I'll see you there.